Do you notice it? How her world was always centered. Her feelings were the calendar, the weather, the headline. And you? You became the forecast that never changes. Available, apologetic, always on call. Cute, right? You bent and bent until you forgot what straight felt like. You showed up, you softened, you sacrificed, you repacked yourself into some more useful shape. And she took again and again. No one told you you were auditioning for a part you never applied for. Let's say it plain. You weren't losing yourself. You were giving yourself away, chapter by chapter. And when you finally stopped handing over pages, she closed the book and walked. Then she called you the villain. Imagine that. She told you you changed. She said you stopped caring. She stacked every emotional cost on your shoulders like it was rent due. But let's be honest, you didn't change into something worse. You stopped pretending the bleeding was fine. You stopped being a bottomless cup for someone who drinks like it's oxygen. Breathe, let it sit. You gave time, energy, forgiveness, nights, mornings, whole little eras of your life, and still it wasn't enough. You learned the pattern. Give, then apologize for giving. Give more, then explain why you gave. Give so much you were empty, and then be blamed for the emptiness. That is not love. That's convenience disguised as romance. Hear me. You were not a problem. You were a supply, and the supply ran dry. So she left. And because she left, she got to reframe the narrative. Now you're the one who failed. Classic. You feel that? The hollow echo after the door shuts? That's grief. That's your old self asking questions. You stare at the ceiling and ask the 3 dangerous questions. What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I enough? How did I become invisible in my own life? Answer: you were never invisible because you were weak. You were invisible because you were invisible to her standards. Never perfect enough to keep her consumption interesting. Ouch. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. Now listen, this isn't a pity session. This is an awakening. Yes, you hurt. Yes, you're confused. Yes, nights hit hard. But that pain, it's the siren that wakes you up. Don't snooze it. The real thief in that relationship wasn't just her. It was the script she taught you to read. Apologize first. Explain your value second. Lower your needs. And you memorized it because you loved, because you believed, because you wanted to protect the fragile center of her universe. Meanwhile, your center cracked. She wanted devotion without responsibility. She wanted a shrine, not a partner. And when shrines run out of offerings, they close up. That's what happened. This is the moment where everything changes. Not with fireworks, but with the smallest choices that feel almost boring. Make the bed. Fill a glass. Turn off the phone. Move your body. One action at a time, you reclaim a piece of ground you once ceded. Start with small sovereignty, the tiny structures that tell your brain you still own your life. Wake up at the same time every day. Eat something that fuels you. Step into the cold. Do one thing you promised yourself months ago. Keep the promise to you. Sounds small because it is small. That's the point. Greatness is a mosaic of small, repeated decisions. Let's talk about how they make you feel responsible for their storms. She storms, and you're expected to reorganize a hurricane. She divas, and you're supposed to flatten yourself. She rages, and you must be the therapist, the restraint, the apology machine. And why? Because when someone treats their needs like a drum you must always play, they make you the percussionist for their life. You did all that, and you still got the verdict. You're the problem. So now what? You can fold and accept that verdict, or you can call the court a sham. Call the bluff. Name the pattern. When she storms, that's not on you. When she leaves because you stopped fueling the drama, that's her choice, not your crime. You loved. You healed. You tried. That's not weakness, it's investment. But an investor expects returns. You were investing in someone who didn't pay. You will feel rage and also ridiculous tenderness, sometimes in the same hour. Let both be honest. Rage is energy, tenderness is memory. Use the rage as fuel. Let the tenderness be a teacher. It's okay to mourn the version of yourself that used to revolve around her. Mourn that you made someone else the center of your life. Mourn the lost security. But don't mortgage your future to that sorrow. Now come back to control. Control the controllables. Control your morning. Control your diet. Control your circle. Control your reaction. Not to be rigid, but to create a spine you can trust. The spine matters. People who prey on others test the backbone first. If you bend, they take more. If you stand, they leave. That's when the story flips. And yes, they'll tell you it's because you changed. Welcome to accountability. You changed into someone who doesn't tolerate theft. That's not change in a romantic sense. It's evolution. There will be nights you want to text. There will be mornings you dream of the life you had. Let that be the memory, not the mission. Delete their number only when you're ready. Block only when you've decided silence means sovereignty. But do not devalue your own recovery by pretending reconciliation with someone who abused your boundaries is normal. People like that will try to pull you back with apologies that smell like theater. They will use regret as bait. Don't bite. Regret is cheap when it's not accompanied by change. They'll show up with flowers and a script. Don't confuse production value with repentance. You must replace the narrative. Instead of telling yourself the old story, I failed, I wasn't enough, write the new one. I stayed as long as I could with a person who wouldn't become whole. I walked away when repair meant losing myself. Repeat it every morning. Use it like a talisman. Build a circle. Get quiet mentors. Find men who have rebuilt. They'll give you the blueprints, the shame-free mirror, and the discipline. Brotherhood is different from therapy. It's accountability with muscle. Therapy is good. Brotherhood is brutal and loving. Both are tools. Use them. You will notice your appetite return. You will notice your posture shift. You will notice people looking at you differently, not because of clothes or status, but because of presence. Presence is magnetic. It reads as safety, competence, availability for the right things. Learn to love scarcity, not scarcity of affection, but scarcity of your approval. Don't hand it out like pocket change. Make people earn access. Your energy is not a free resource. It's capital. Invest it like one. Imagine explaining to someone that they have to prove they deserve empathy. Prove you love me might sound harsh, but it's a filter that weeds out predators. You will be tempted to justify, to explain, to reopen dialogues that are tired and circular. Resist. Justifications are a currency abusers use to draw you back into conversation that leads nowhere. Your silence can be a shield. Use it when you need to grow without commentary. Relearn your likes. Pick up books that challenge you. Change your playlist. Walk a new route. A person remade is not merely healed. They're recurated. Curate yourself like art. And when you feel the shame, yes, expect it. Remember, shame is not the evidence of guilt. It's the leftover of someone else's projection. Throw it out like old clothes. You are not the fixer. You are not the therapist. You are not the emergency contact on call for a lifetime of mood swings. You owe compassion to yourself. That means showing up to your own life with a tenderness you used to give out like candy. It doesn't mean avoiding hard choices. It means being honest about what nourishes you and what drains you. Now, let's talk freedom. It's quieter than you expect. It's not fireworks. It's a slow morning where the coffee tastes like possibility, not guilt. It's an afternoon where you don't check the phone. It's a night where sleep actually heals. Freedom will feel strange at first, like walking out of a building you built your whole life in. You'll look back and feel dizzy. That's normal. Keep walking. Enjoy the petty joys, laughing when you remember a ridiculous fight, dancing alone in your kitchen, finishing a sentence without guarding it, taking a call and talking about yourself like someone who matters. People will ask why you left. Give them a brief answer. It wasn't working. That's enough. You don't owe chapter by chapter explanations. If you have kids or shared logistics, keep it businesslike. Emotion is a private currency. Don't spend it as legal tender in custody negotiations. Protect your heart and protect your role as a stable parent or partner in logistics. And if the industry of gossip or shame starts whispering, friends, family, keep your circle tight. You're not being dramatic. You're surviving. There will be days that still cut. That means it's real. You were human in that love. Let it cut, but let it teach. One day, maybe months from now, you'll hear her name fall into a sentence, and you'll have nothing but curiosity. You'll ask, what is she doing now? And it won't sting. That's progress. That's healing. Your relationships will change. You'll want depth over convenience. You'll prefer someone who asks, how are you? Not as a line, but as a habit. You'll notice who leans into accountability and who flirts with drama. See them. Choose wisely. Create rituals, Sunday runs, cold showers, writing a paragraph of intent each morning. Rituals are anchors. They keep you present and moving. Progress is not linear. There will be days you feel like a king and days you feel like a ghost. Keep working. The aggregate of days is what makes a new life. Allow yourself to be surprised by joy. It will come in odd packages. A text from an old friend, a job offer, a sunrise. Let these little wins gather into momentum. Remember your core values. Who are you without the relationship? Which principles did you abandon? Claim them back. Make your life congruent with those values. Speak plainly. Boundaries are sentences you set for how people may enter your life. Use them forcefully and kindly. When someone new arrives who shows interest, watch how they respond to your boundaries. That reaction tells you everything. If they balk, walk. If they respect, proceed with patience. You will meet yourself again, and perhaps be surprised by how much you like the version you find. He is scarred, sure, but he is honest. He is reliable. He is not for sale. You might be tempted to rush romance to seal the wound. Don't. Any bandage you put on too fast will trap infection. Let the wound air. Let the healing happen. Be selective. You'll look back and see patterns. Maybe you feel anger at how long you tolerated it. That anger is useful. It fuels boundaries, action, and clarity. Use it. Don't let it eat you. Make a plan. Short-term goals, 30 days. Medium, 6 months. Long, 2 years. Goals anchor the future. They keep you building so you don't idle in pity. One day you'll realize you aren't just surviving, you're designing. You're building a life that doesn't center someone who's cheaper than your dignity. That's victory. And when she tries the comeback, the apology, the sudden nostalgia, the "I miss you," answer briefly, or don't answer at all. Your silence will be louder than any speech. She'll interpret silence as indifference. Perfect. Let her think that. Silence is a better teacher than lectures. You will also forgive, not to reopen doors, but to close them cleanly. Forgiveness is a tool for your peace, not an invitation. Forgive to remove the corrosive power of bitterness, and then give your life to something that cannot cheat you. Work, craft, children, health, loyalty to your own becoming. These are your investments with return. Be ruthless with your time. Be tender with your heart. Build armor for the storms and a home for the calm. One day you'll meet someone who admires your silence, honors your rituals, laughs with your sarcasm, and loves you with accountability. That's the jackpot, not because of scarcity, but because it's earned. Until then, cultivate yourself. Be the man who answers to no one but his own code. That's how you keep from returning to the old shackles. Every morning you wake, say, "I choose me," not as a selfish mantra, as a foundational truth. Then live like it. Protect. Act. Build. The crown you wear now is forged from distance and discipline. Wear it with humility. Wear it with clarity. And when you look at your reflection, you'll see the man who left the drama and kept his life. This was not a failure. It was a reallocation of energy. You took back what they tried to steal. Your attention, your choices, your time. Let them keep the chaos. You keep the results. So stand now, make the bed, take the walk, reply to the one friend who always checked in. Eat properly. Sleep properly. Put one corner back in place. One piece at a time. Rebuild the life they wanted you to sacrifice. Move forward like a man who remembers the value of his own heart. Move like someone who won't let anyone else spend it without consent. And when you finally look back, don't hunt for revenge. Let your life be the revenge. Let your calm, your achievements, your laughter be the long, slow answer. You weren't broken. You were borrowed. And you reclaimed yourself. Go. Rebuild. Be relentless about your peace. Be relentless about your rise. The world respects a man who protects his center. You will not be consumed again. You will not martyr yourself for someone else's feelings. You will build quietly, ruthlessly, beautifully. And that right there is freedom.